Hello YouTube, this is iTradePeople here. I'm doing a tournament report today, and I know how like Pojo has tournament reports. I don't really go on forums a lot, like I don't have a name of a forum or anything, but I do like reading tournament reports just for fun sometimes and just to learn deck lists and how decks play. I'm gonna start mine off. I went to the Edison Regional on May 7th. There was about 360 people there, so there were 9 rounds. So I have 9 cards here. Actually, there's 10 cards that top 8'd, and I'll explain to you what each card is the deck I played, and I'll give you a little story behind it. So I was playing Karakuri Machina plans. My deck is a little bit different than everyone else's. I'll explain that in a later video if this one doesn't go too long. So first deck I played was the Nordics. This Nordic deck was actually pretty good. It played plants and it played Lightsworn cards. So it's sort of like a plant deck. But he was a really nice guy. He's from like New York or something. He was a white guy, by the way. So I played him. He ended up bringing out Odin game 3. I lost game 1. I won game 2 in turn 1. In game 3 he brought out Odin. I go Solemn Warning. And then I win there because he loses too much advantage. So that was round 1. Round 2 I played against Lightsworn. This game wasn't too good, to be honest, because Game 1, I didn't honestly know he was playing Lightsworn, because he went Trooper, milled 3 cards, was like Double Roll Decree, Phantom of Chaos. Game 2, he had the same plays again, then he went like Monster Reincarnation, Ditches, Junk Synchron, Grab Back, Card Trooper, mill cards. I saw Celestia, but aside from that, I didn't see any Lightsworn cards, besides Raikou, so I thought he was playing like a cool deck taking Celestia. Then later he showed me Judgment Dragons and stuff. Like he literally showed me his deck after I won. It's like, oh, you're playing Lightsworn. He's like, yeah, I didn't draw any cards. He said that game 1 he drew 3 Solar Recharges, 2 Judgment Dragons, and nothing else. Round 3, I played against Fusion Gate Heroes. Like it's like the Miracle Beat, except it plays like no trap cards and 3 Fusion Gates. You're supposed to loop in like Shining. This guy wasn't as friendly as everyone else. Like he was okay in the beginning, but later during the game he was raging a lot. So game 1 I won because like the deck goes summon a guy end turn, so when you have no protection, I'm not scared to make my big plays. So I won game 1. Game 2 he goes first, he goes Terraform. No, he grabs Terraforming, grabs Fusion Gate, activates E-Call, grabs Stratos, summons Stratos, grabs Ocean instead of Shining. No, instead of Alias. I was like, always make first turn Shining. That was what I was thinking. Then he just ends turn. So it's like, sure, if he goes first turn Stratos and thinks he's gonna get cocky. I went Gear Frame, grab Fortress, activate Foolish Burial on Global, make Naturi Beast attack. So his deck is basically on lockdown. He doesn't have any outs in Naturi Beast. His turn he sets a guy, so I summon another Gear Frame, and I just win from there. Like next turn he activates all his magic cards thinking I won't negate one. Then he was getting real angry, then I just won. Round 4, I played against Gravekeepers. This deck main decked enemy controller, so that was really weird. Like game 1, I won. I had full control, like I was grinding it for advantage with Machinas. Machinas are really good, especially Gear Frame and Fortress. Yeah, the only 2 Machinas I play, and Force. Game 2, I had full control again, but it was one of those situations where like he had the one card, not the like the random dark hole, but like I played to the point where like that one card through the attack just won. It was like a Assailant on a token or something at 2000. Game 3 I won with just Machinas. Like that's all I drew, Machinas, and I kept winning with that. It was a Fortress attached with Gear Frame, and he sent a monster, and I flipped Dark Hole, and only Gear Frame died, so Fortress attacked for game. That was game 3. Round 4, I played against Samurai. This guy was really cool. He was like a Dominican person, I guess. He was playing 6 Samurai. He didn't know what Karakuri did at all. Like he said he played it the round before and he beat it, but like he didn't know what it was. Like he asked me for my deck list after we played. Like game 1, he made Xian, and I just summoned Fortress and attack. Like all my cards were countering. I know. Game 1 I went off because I drew a good combo. Like I drew 1 for 1. Like it was like really lucky for that one. I went off and I exploded. So I had 3 burritos and a guy. He makes Black Rose, and I have more cards than he does, so I win from advantage. Game 2, I think he kind of just like lost hope as he was side decking. He was like, I think you already got this game, man. I don't really know what to side deck. Can you help me with my side deck after the match? I was like, sure. So I went, then I read him the deck list, and I showed him how to play the deck a little bit. He was a cool guy. Round 6? Yeah, I play against Absolute Zero, Gemini Hero. Not Gemini Hero. Miracle Hero. I have a theory. If you're from the like East Coast, if you're Asian, I most likely assume you like heroes, especially Zero. So he goes, Trapstun won me this game. Like that match was like the MVP. Trapstun. So I go first. I said Trapstun and Silent Morning, or just Trapstun or something like that. He goes Future Fusion, Stratos, sets a couple, attacks. So my turn, I go Trapstun. He doesn't do anything, and I go off from there and win. It was like a couple turns in, and he shows me to roll Depression face down. Game 2, I did the same thing, except he Solemn Judgments. Then Puppet Plans really put in work. Puppet Plans and Kinetic Soldier really have good synergy with Karakuri's, because they're both machines and plants. So I beat this guy, round 6. So I was undefeated still. Round 7, I played against another Gravekeeper deck. This one I couldn't say much about because, like, I drew good. Second game I drew, like, my hands weren't good if I went first. Like, I couldn't explode off the turn. They were good because they're like countering hands, like the hand that can counter your opponents. Like, say your opponent brings out a big guy, I can have the counter for that. It just wasn't things I want to do, and my opponent just went off that, like having big pushes, and I won. So be the Gravekeepers. Round 8, I played against another 6 Samurai deck. He didn't play Temple of the 6, I just didn't have a card to show it. Another 6 Samurai. Alright, this game, he had double Shin, 2 Kizans, and a Grandmaster. And I had Fortress face down because he booked a Moon when I attacked. And I had a face down Karakuri Soldier. He attacked my Fortress. He goes Magatama. Then he attacks my Soldier. I bring out another one. He attacks my Soldier. I bring out Strategist. Switches Grandmaster Defense mode. And then he attacks and kills my Strategist. So he has a face up Gateway, a face down card, and 5 monsters, 2 of them being Shians. I draw. I have a Karakuri Quick. I attack my another defense mode Grandmaster, bring back Strategist, make Black Rose +7. So I won that one. And he opened with double United. Like, the game was really crazy, and I won because I had a countering hand. Like, my hand wasn't good if he didn't do anything. If he played passively, I would have lost. But since he pushed, I won. Round 9, I played against X-Sabers. He was a really good player too. Game 2, I won game 1. Game 2, I had a Nature Beast and Nisamu, the Karakuri Soldier. So he had a defense mode Fulham Knight and an attack mode Fulham Knight. The defense mode Fulham Knight already uses effect. The attack mode one didn't. So I summoned Soldier, attacked the attack position Fulham Knight, it negated. Nature Beast hits. His turn he draws. He attacks my Soldier and switches defense mode. So what happens is his Fulham Knight effects activates, then my Soldier activates. And since he's turned player, he goes first, and they're both optional effects. Mine goes second. I choose Strategist. Strategist comes on board. His effect doesn't trigger yet because Fulham Knight has to resolve. So Fulham Knight brings out his Ember's Blade, and I switch his Ember's Blade to defense mode, so he can't ram on a Cherry Beast and make Dark Soul to make Brionic. Like, either way, I had the great play because we had to call the judge for like 10 minutes. Because we were wondering if Nisamu had to target when he hits the field. Not Nisamu, Strategist has to target. But he can't interrupt the chain because it was resolving. Either way, I could have targeted my Cherry Beast to turn him to defense mode. So then I win from there because he gives me my Cherry Beast and he only has his Brionic, and I have a tuner and I can draw any monster and play like 22 monsters. So I went 9-0 at Edison. I was first seed. Then I played top 8 just for fun. You know, just to have the undefeated. I lose to this. Well, not this exactly, but the person who played this card originally in the show played the other card as well. He played a Hopeless Dragon deck. He played Blue Eyes White Dragon. So what happened was, game 1, I didn't draw that well. And like, I kind of played passively until I had a big push. And then I played my cards, but he had Royal Oppression. And he already had like a Blue Eyes and a Red Eyes Darkness Metal on the field. And I lose from there. Because he had Royal Oppression. Game 2, I win because I drew kind of well. I got the big combos off. Game 3, he goes first. He goes Sarkos, grabs a Giant Trunade, activate Future Fusion, ditch 2 Wyvern, 2 Red Eyes Darkness Metal.